Texas Heat. It's your man Legend. I'm chilling with my man Moses Uvere. Y'all don't know who my man is, but he's on the come up right now. So man, let's get straight into it. Man, just let people know what your name is one more time. Let them know, you know what I'm saying, who you are, some of the accomplishments that you've done in your career.
Yeah, man. My name is Moses Uvere. I'm born and raised out here in Dallas, Texas. I'm not really good at talking about everything I've done, but I'm gonna try my best without sounding like I'm bragging or something. But I put out 2 full-length albums. I released my most recent album in 2011 called Miami Gap. I released that under a imprint of Universal. The name of the label was called Chaos Creative, and and that kind of got me like a really big jump into the industry. From there, I've toured nationally. I did my first national tour when I was like 21 years old, and I did that after I put out my first album. And from there, I put out my second album, toured nationally, kept touring. So I've just finished doing like my 8th national tour, and I've done one international tour in Nigeria. I've been to Nigeria as well. I did like 20 cities in Nigeria, and so I'm trying to figure out a way to how to chronologically this. So from my first album, after touring quite a bit, I was able to open up for some well-known artists like Paul Wall, Trey Songz, Chingo Bling. They were playing Circle at the time, but 2 Chainz or whatever, however you relate it. I'm trying to think of who else. Bun B, I opened up for Bun B, and Crooked Eye in Los Angeles. So just to name a few, I'm not trying to sound like I'm bragging. I don't know if this sounds like I'm bragging.
That's big stuff, though.
Yeah.
But let me break in and ask you this. I mean, what do you think's allowed you to do this stuff? Because I mean, there's a lot of artists out here trying to do stuff exactly like you're doing, and I mean, you're doing that stuff, and I mean, you may not be well known, but I mean, you're moving in those right circles that'll make you well known. Because they say it takes 10 years to make an overnight success. You know what I mean? So you're within that ground. What's allowed you to be there? As opposed to other artists, because there's about 1 million of them out there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think one that sets me apart is because the way the game is right now, there's so many talented artists. Like there's so many artists that are rapping better than most people.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the bottom line. I don't consider myself the best rapper, but I do consider myself the most hard-working rapper. I don't feel like rappers are working hard enough outside of the fact of recording an album.
Exactly.
So for me, I'll take the time to record an album and put my foot in the album and make it sound incredible. But then I'll make sure I go out and book my own tour. I'll make sure I go out and book my own radio appearances. Go out and book my own TV appearances. A lot of artists don't have the business savvy or the know-how to articulate themselves, to be able to put themselves in position to be able to be in front of a Paul Wall, to be in front of a Bun B. And me, like I said, I'm not the best rapper, I'm not making the best records, but I work so hard and I articulate my vision to people. So when I tell people where I want to go and what I want to become, people get it and they say, you know what, I co-sign the vision. Like, I'm just going to put you on because I love the vision.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, when you talk about vision, I mean, what's the vision for Moses as you move forward and as you continue to build a name for yourself and continue to, tour and put out projects?
I think the big thing for me, man, and this may sound really weird and cliche, but music to me is like such a spiritual experience. It's so spiritual. So I feel like my calling is to make sure that when I'm creating this music that is captivating people's hearts. So like my thing is I try to make the most honest, genuine product that resonates with people. And my vision is for people to be changed through the music. Like, it's easy for me to make a club record that could do well on radio and get paid. I've written songs for people that were club records, and I've made money from that, and they've made money from that. So I know it's possible. But for me, my vision is to really write a song or perform a song and really see it change somebody's life. And I've been blessed to see people come up to me after shows and after different radio events and TV events and be like, yo, what you said changed my life. That's what I'm going to do, is try to push the agenda of like a new point of view, a new vision, and just living better, you know what I'm saying? So That's it.
Well, I mean, do you find that hard? Because I mean, there's a lot of the music game right now is about a lot of music that really, honestly, it really doesn't have much substance to it. It doesn't leave you. You don't leave, with something after you listen to that music. And I mean, artists that do have a message, it seems like it's a little bit more difficult for them to get the proper recognition.
It's definitely more difficult, but I feel like for me is I still blend a lot of elements and sounds that like you would hear in the club or that you would hear on the radio, but I'm still putting in these like golden nuggets that like you can hang on to that can really compel you to make a life decision. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what sets me apart, because this music sonically still sounds like something you bang in the car. It sounds like something you hear on Top 40, or it sounds like something you hear in the urban radio. But like the lyrics and the content is what's really setting me apart from a lot of these artists. And I really feel like even me, just my person, like it's just way different. Like you know what I mean? Like it stands out just amongst everyone else. So, and then when they hear the content, it kind of stands out as well. So I feel like all of those things just kind of just pushing me above the ranks a little bit quicker than the average artist.
Okay. Well, I mean, what are your influences, just as far as like the music you listen to, or just the mindset you have when you make music, or just any type of environmental things that might affect the music and the crowd?
And I really focus on life. Like I just live a lot of life. You know what I'm saying? And I try to live life with a lot of people I love. And it just inspires like good records. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I mean, I'm listening to a lot of independent stuff. Like the independent music is where you hear the hunger. You know what I mean? Because artists is trying to really eat, and you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? And so like I'm listening to this artist right now named Jafia Life. Like a lot of people don't know him, but he's from Philly. He's like this East Coast cat, man, and he's on some real deep spiritual type stuff. But like he's so grimy and raw and hungry with it. And it inspires me, because I'm like, I want to rap like that. You hear me? Like, how are you doing that, bro? For real, you know what I'm saying? So, like, he's one artist, man, that inspires me. And then there's another artist, too, named B. Rife. He's from Milwaukee. White dude. He can sing, he can rap, he can play the guitar, he can play the piano, he can play the drums. And I'm like, and he's rapping just as good or better as another rapper. He's singing just as good or better. And I watch that as well. And that caliber of artist makes me want to be like, I need to learn how to play piano tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So
you
like,
gotta be versatile in this game.
Exactly. So those are the type of cats that I've been listening to. On the mainstream level, I really love J. Cole. I mean, J. Cole's probably putting out some of the best music I've heard in a long time.
He's putting out some joints.
Yeah, like just incredible music.
Back to back.
Just not even stopping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really cutting for this stuff too. So.
Well, I mean, dude. I hear all this talk about a documentary and 2 years of footage. I mean, what's all this about? 'Cause I mean, that's what, just as far as the independent artists. I mean, doing a documentary, I think, is having a bigger vision. And I mean, I think a lot of artists don't have that bigger vision for themselves. The artists that do, that kind of allows you to do the things that other artists aren't doing.
I mean, with the vision, man, I don't see myself. I made the decision that I'm gonna do music full time when I was 21 years old. So since I was 21, I've always been working part-time jobs in like little audience jobs, but still touring and trying to make sure I get paid $100 here, $50 here for a show. You know, so I always saw myself being a full-time artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm 27 now, and I can honestly say that like I really make a living as an artist. Like I owe the IRS, I need to pay my taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that real. So with that being said, I think I was approached by a few young cats that were just been following my music. And they said, yo, we want to just follow you around and film, man. Like, we just want to document what you're doing, you know? And there's just film students out of the Art Institute. And another guy went to Tarrant County, too. And about 40 guys that just said, you know, we've been hearing your name a lot in Dallas. Not a lot of Dallas music is being recognized. We feel like you're somebody that we just love to listen to. So we want to document it. And so, for the last 2 years, I've done over like 180 shows, and all throughout like the nation, and they've just been following me for like the majority of that. They gave me a camera, and they said, "Yo, times where we can't be there, yo, take this camera and document things." So I even took the camera with me when I went to Nigeria, got some footage of that when I was out there, and we gathered maybe like 250 gigs of footage, and when it was finished, we sat down and we were like, okay, how are we gonna tell the story? Because there was so much going on. And then at that time, I got an opportunity to be on like every major news station in Dallas, and I've been on K104, interviewed on there. So they documented all of that. And so then now we're in a process where we're just writing the story, telling the story. The overall story is like, okay, who is this Moses guy? It's just the overall story. And so all it is just me living life and performing and meeting people and sharing my story with people that want to listen. So the documentary is hopefully set to release around the time the album comes out. I haven't had a release date released yet from the record label I'm signed to, but I'm hoping to get an album. I'm hoping to get that out sometime in November. So,
man, that sounds amazing, dude. I mean, just as far as like the visual aspect of things, because you talk about like a lot of footage and doing a documentary, and I mean, I think like the visual aspect of things for artists is like, it's a necessity nowadays. There's no way to even get away with not doing any type of video, something like a trailer, a video, something, you know, footage of your shows. You know, I mean, is that something that you value a lot, or is that something that you see as just, you know, something that you do to accompany what you already got going on?
I think there's just so much value in it. Like, it's like you mentioned, it's a necessity. So as you know, I started rapping when I was 21. That's probably like in 2008. The game's changed so much since 2008 to 2013. At that time, I was on MySpace. No one's on MySpace anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, I remember there was nobody doing visual stuff at that time, and me and my friends were like, okay, we gotta put out little 1 minute, 2 minute vlogs of us just doing a show or hanging out. And we take these like horrible little like, you know, HD cameras that we got from Walmart, and we just film our shows, you know what I'm saying? And I really saw that connecting more with the listener. Like, the people that listen to my music, and they missed the show, and they saw that, they were like, dang, I gotta come to the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had people be like, yo, I saw this video of you performing in Lufkin, now I'm gonna make sure I come when you do a show in Oklahoma City. Like, I've had that happen several times, so it's a good way to brand and market what you're doing as well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you talk about branding and marketing. I mean, how important do you think that is, just as far as like being an independent artist and making yourself a brand and knowing how to properly, you know, market your product, you know, find out what your target market is and strategize and plan properly, because you got to do a lot of those things for yourself nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you definitely know what it is as far as like branding and marketing and what that takes, but it's you gotta look at it as a business. You know, you gotta get a textbook and read and ask questions and ask people who've been there. And I've done that, man. Like, I've been able to tour with some big names, and I'll straight up ask them a question. I'll be like, okay, so you're doing 150 dates a year, making $10,000 a show. How are you doing that? I'll ask somebody that's on in a minute, because that's where I want to be able to be. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think it's just important to be able to build it to where it looks bigger than yourself. Like, if the vision and what you're doing doesn't look bigger than you, then you're just wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? And people are supposed to be so compelled and passionate about what you're doing, that they take it and make it a bigger thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you can only talk about yourself and promote yourself for so long. Like, if the people don't catch on to the vision, then there's really no vision, there's no passion behind it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still in that stage where I'm just slowly but surely like winning fans over, like literally one person at a time, like one show at a time. You hear me?
Dude, I feel
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you ain't lying about that. Hey, but I mean, dude, you sound like a very knowledgeable individual about the business side of things. And I mean, you talk about making like your movement bigger than you. I think that's crucial for artists. And I mean, what do you think is preventing artists from doing that? Because there's a lot of artists I see, it's like they got a nice product, but it's just like it's something missing there. It's something missing there. It's just those one or two components that can make it big, you know?